Dash, you gotta stay still or I'll keep missing, scolded Pinkie as her friend howled. Pinkie took another whack and hit the target. She swung again and again. Blood sprayed into the air, but Pinkie realized she wasn't getting anywhere. The blade just wasn't going to the bone. I guess I forgot to sharpen it. I'll try something else, stated Pinkie matter-of-factly as she tossed the knife over her shoulder, embedding the blade in the table. The thought, though the haze of pain and tears, through the Dash heard the sound of a metal box opening and closing. Got it! Say, Dash, why do they call it a hacksaw? It doesn't hack. Hacking is what I was doing with a knife. This is a saw. I don't get it. He placed the tool over the mangled flesh of the last attempt. Standing on her hind legs, she worked the saw back and forth into her hooves. It sliced effortlessly through the bone and skin. The feeling of the jagged teeth grinding into her made Dash want to vomit. She watched numbly as her wing flew over her head and landed in a fluff on the table. Pinkie moved to the next wing and started sawing. Dash didn't struggle this time. She'd given up trying to fight and focused on choking back screams of agony. Abruptly, the saw paused. Pinkie was only halfway done. The wing was hanging off by a sliver. Hey, Dash! Pinkie piped up. Think fast! Suddenly, Pinkie yanked the wing as hard as she could. The bones snapped, but the blue pony's skin held, then tore away. The pole ripped along all the way down to Dash's back to her rump. Her body seized the unexpected trauma as her pelvis tensed up. Dash felt a warm feeling between her legs, and her loud unending melody of pain filled the room. Unable to catch her breath, she blacked out. Dash woke with a gasp. The stench of urine filled her mucus-caked nostrils. As her vision swam into focus, she saw a very pouty Pinkie Pie remove a large adrenaline needle from her chest, stomping her hooves. With frustration, Pinkie lashed out at her helpless victim. Didn't any pony teach you any manners? It's very rude to fall asleep when somebody invites you over to spend time with them. How would you like it if I came over to your house and went to sleep? Oh, I'm sorry, Dash. You're so boring. I think I'll just take a nap. You think I like always doing this by myself? I told you how excited I got when I found you were next. I was excited to have a friend here with me while I work. But no! You've got to be inconsiderable. You know, I thought you were tough. I thought you could handle anything. I had foes stand up better than you. Do I have to baby you, huh? Is that how you want me to remember you? As a baby? As Pinkie stopped to catch her breath, Pinkie blinked and sobbed softly. Her back was in... As Pinkie stopped to catch her breath, Dash blinked and sobbed softly. Her back was in agony, her sides were on fire, and there was an intense pain in one of her legs. As she blinked, she saw Pinkie prop something red into her mouth and begin to chew. Saw Pinkie... Yes. Pinkie quickly gulped the morsel down. What? Pinkie asked. Oh, this? She held up another piece. Well, while you were asleep, I got a little impatient and helped myself to a small sample. I got it from your leg. You're not bad. Want to try some? Without waiting for a response, Pinkie shoved a strip of meat into the revolted Pegasus pony's mouth. Dash gagged and immediately spit it out. Pinkie frowned and picked up the chunk of flesh. If you didn't want it, you could have said no. She commented and discarded snotty morsel, then gulped it down. It's not like you haven't had my cupcakes before. Swallowing it, Pinkie turned her attention to the small can on the tray. She removed the lid, revealing it was filled with hot red coals. Laying on top of the coals were several large needles. As the adrenaline filled her veins, Dash began to panic again. Picking up the can, Pinkie walked over to Dash's leg, holding some tongs in her mouth. Pinkie carefully picked up a nail and positioned it into her victim's front leg and hoof. And she grabbed a hammer and took careful aim. No, Pinkie! Dash should. No! No! The hammer came down and the nail punctured Dash's skin. The white hot burning was too much. Dash screamed as she pulled herself, thrashing at the braces, causing her raw skin to rub and tear. Pinkie is trying to line up another nail, but she couldn't find her aim and let out a frustrated grunt. When Pinkie brought the hammer back to take a wild swing, Dash burst out crying and begged, "Please stop! Please stop!" Pinkie rolled her eyes. Putting down the hammer and tongs, she walked back in front of her friend and stared pensively at the broken Pegasus. Gilda didn't even cry. Gilda didn't even cry this much when she had a live parasite stuffed down her throat. A live parasite stuffed down her throat. Pinkie thought for a minute about what to do next, and suddenly sparked to hang a wheel on the rack. Pinkie laid Dash on her back, and then moved to Dash's hind legs, bringing the can with her. Picking up her tools, Pinkie drove a searing hot spike of metal directly into the bottom of Dash's hoof. As Dash yelled in pain, Pinkie moved around and drove a second nail into her other hoof. Next, Pinkie went back to her car and located an enormous battery and controller, which she dragged over, and when she was working, she tied copper wires between the terminals and nails driven into, and then gave Dash a wink and flipped the switch. Her electricity rocketed through Dash's body. The blue pony reacted immediately. Her body seized and her muscles snapped taut. Dash's hips thrust skyward. Her eyes rolled back, and she let out a deep, throat-shredding cry. Pinkie giggled and danced in place, then reached down and turned up the juice. Dash convulsed and her bladder emptied once more. After about 5 minutes, Pinkie shut off the power. Whiffs of steam rose from the singed fur on Dash's hooves, and the area reeked of cooked flesh and burnt and meat. Pinkie rotated Dash upright again and tried to snap the drooling, delirious Pegasus back to it. Dash! Dash! Rainbow Dash! Wake up! Dash moaned and managed to give up of weak acknowledgement. Pinkie studied her handiwork, then reached into the medical bag and produced a large syringe. All right, time for the last round. Dash focused barely on the needle, which Pinkie took as a question as to what it was. "There's a little something to take the pain away," Pinkie informed Dash as she walked around her victim's room and back. Dash flinted as jabbed the needle into her lower part of the blue pony's spine. Moving in front of her friend again, Pinkie leaned down and, "In a few minutes, you won't be able to feel anything below your rib cage. Then you'll be able to stay awake and to watch the harvest." Dash started to cry again. "Pinkie." "Yeah? I want to go home." Dash sobbed. "Yeah, I can't see wanting to do that," replied the party pony. "Sometimes I just want to give up and just say, I'm done with this mess, and go to bed. But you know what? You can't shrug off your responsibilities. You just gotta pull yourself up and meet the challenges ahead. That's the only way you're gonna get ahead of life." Dash hung her head and cried.